Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another Friday review. And today I am reviewing the second album from a Ukrainian heavy metal slash hard rock band, Gasoline Guns, and the album is titled Motor Cult, which probably should give you a little bit of a hint on where this is going to end up heading in terms of sound and influence and whatnot. So again, released through Mythrone Promotion. Yes, that is the label's name, on May 30th of this year. So, Gasoline Guns. Again, I just stated they are definitely Ukrainian. They are based out of, hope I pronounced this right, Chernihiv Oblast, Ukraine. Hope I pronounced that all correctly. Again, if I do, I apologize. Again, you can correct me in the comment section on what's the best way to pronounce the name, basically. So, anyways, they were formed in 2013 and released their debut demo in 2015, and then their first full-length album in 2016 titled Rust and Dust, and then a single titled Night Riders in 2018, and then, of course, Under Wicked Sky, which is one of the songs on this album, on 2020, and then last year, then of course another single following it last year titled Gasoline Guns, another song that's on this album. So without further ado, we are here at their second album here, Motor Cult. So without further ado, like I just stated here, it's time to get into my actual thoughts on Motor Cult from Gasoline Guns. Okay, so I guess before we really get into any of my, actual thoughts on this release, you know what I have to do? I have to do a track listing rundown just to tell you guys what's on this album, meaning how many songs on here, and also what is the length of the album. And so far we have at least 9 songs here, and it all clocks in at 35 minutes and 1 second. Alright, so these 9 songs are Bourbon Burns, Under Wicked Sky, which was the first single released for this album, Hell Thunder, Gasoline Guns, which was the second single for this album, El Pistolero, This Road is a Snake, Nothing to Prove, Wheels of Rust, and then finally ending with And That's Why We Drink. Yes, give you a bit of an idea for what's the lyrical themes for this band. What's their just the overall theme of the songs and whatnot. That very final track should give you that. So there we go. There's your 9 songs. So upon listening to this album, since obviously you can tell, since many of you probably don't even know who Gasoline Guns are, which is the same thing for me. I didn't know who the hell they were until, of course, browsing through the new wave or traditional heavy metal full albums channel on YouTube and seeing this pop up in at least the videos. And I think because again, I'm subscribed to that channel and I do get updates, again, like notifications, since I'm having trouble, I guess, to pronounce the fucking shit today. Anyways, notifications on what's been uploaded and whatnot, and what the fuck, So I get the notification and it ends up popping up. So I end up checking out the album, and upon listening to it, of course, even reading through some of the comments, I've seen a lot of people definitely compare them to Motorhead. This is probably not the first album really this year where I've at least reviewed a album from a band who, of course, is obviously taken their influence from Motorhead. So again, I read through a lot of comments. I mean, even on Metal Archives, in the similar artists section for the band's page. Of course, the only band that's being listed is Motorhead. But when really listening to this album, while I can hear the Motorhead influence, it's there. But the one band that also comes to mind when really listening to this one that I think the band should be compared to at times is Sodom, especially within the vocal department, who definitely reminds me a lot of Tom Angel Ripper, especially on some of the more recent or later Sodom albums. I mean, Sodom was one of the German thrash metal bands that really at times is like a straight up, just a piss and vinegar, completely pissed off version of Motorhead. They really were, and that's why I think with Gasoline Guns, if Sodom really wanted to go, or if Tom Angel Ripper really wanted to go into the straight up Motorhead influence and really embrace that and wanted to almost do an album that might have that sort of sound, that might be considered a tribute but not completely covering a lot of the stuff from Motorhead, I think Gasoline Guns with this album Motor Cult is what would have been that vision. That what would have been the result. This is the result of what that sort of what if scenario for Sodom, because a lot of this is like a very much a Sodom fueled Motorhead influenced album. Because again, just listening to the opening song like Bourbon Burns, which really is the most prime example of the Motorhead influence. I mean, it's very much in the sort of same vein as like either Ace of Spades and Iron Fist. It's that sort of same sort of formula and writing and composition. It's that's basically what the song is. The whole rhythm and everything, just the overall playing, the riffs, the pacing. It's pretty much very much taken from Motorhead, the Motorhead playbook. But when it comes to songs like Under Wicked Sky and Hell Thunder and even at times El Pistolero and Gasoline and Guns, and then the very last track, And That's Why We Drink, you really can get the more of that almost thrashy Sodom influence that wouldn't have been out of place on either like M16. For example, again, given that sort of almost blending of the Motorhead style within the overall feel. That's kind of what you get with some of these songs. But you do have some interesting ones. Like, for example, with the slower track, This Road is a Snake. This one right here is very interesting because it's a little bit of it's got a nice groove going on to it. It's almost got more of a southern rock feel going on with this one. You can hear it, especially within the acoustic piece within the middle there. But around the beginning part, you really do get that. It's got a very desert feel, and it works to the song's advantage. And it actually, again, it's another sort of kick-ass song. I really like the sort of blending of this almost very Sodom, Motorhead, and Southern influences with this one. Just balling all those styles together in one track. It's just got a nice sort of desert atmosphere going on. It's just fucking great. Again with the artwork and everything, this is perfect sound, perfect style. Again, it's not completely original, but they make it work though. They make it completely work, and I think it's definitely one of the highlights off this album. Again, other songs again like Nothing to Prove are also fucking great, and then again Wheels of Rust, again this one also, it definitely has that sort of Motorhead influence and everything. Just everything is great. They combine some of these influences and styles from at least either the thrashier stuff from the German Teutonic sound, and then of course the sort of British sort of, just completely give no shit style of like Motorhead and whatnot, and just combine it and it works. And then of course again, just infusing a little bit of sort of interesting stuff. Again, with This Road is a Snake, with the sort of very southern desert feel. Again, blending all that together, everything, it just comes off very cool. And again, it's not completely original, but they make it somehow sound good. They're able to make it work. I can't really find anything bad in the production, the recording style. My God, it is almost at times very similar to like either like M16 and Code Red. In terms of just the overall tightness. It's still raw, but it still has a nice sort of crisp going on to it. It still sounds great. It's just all fine. Again, the vocals very much reminds me of Tom Angel Ripper. There's nothing bad here. It's just a very enjoyable, solid, heavy metal album that at times pushes things to either being at times thrash or speed metal. It's just a great, solid album. Again, even some hard rock influences, some bluesy stuff, some southern influences. All of it's just balled up into one, and I think it just makes this a very energetic and enjoyable album. A lot of energy again. Just a good album. I can't really say anything else about this. I mean, I want to, but I really can't. It's just, I think, if anything, you just have to check it out for yourself. So with that, there it is. There's my thoughts on Motor Cult, the second album from the Ukrainian heavy metal band Gasoline Guns. And so to kind of go right to the point here, let me get into my rating. I'm giving it a 8.15 out of 10 since, again, I got it written down. And again, I got my highlights here, I guess, as it says, since you kind of see that. Again, Bourbon Burns, Under Wicked Sky, This Road is a Snake, and Wheels of Rust are my highlights. So, if this does sound like an album you really want to check out, because again, I already said it's a very solid album, but if this does sound like something you want to really check out, you might be interested in, you know, where to look for in the description box. There is a link, at least, to their Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album. And so if you like buying things digitally, hopefully you at least support Gasoline Guns. I hope you support this album. So with that, hope all of you enjoyed. This is Harry Thrashes saying I'm out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.